Hello my dear students, this is Vasavi Ma'am, your biology educator for Foundation and CBSE. Students, in the previous session we have discussed about the types of connective tissue and we have learned in detail about the loose connective tissue, that is areolar connective tissue and adipose connective tissue. So coming towards today's particular session, in today's session we are going to learn about the dense connective tissue. So before learning about the dense connective tissue, if you see the matrix present in the areolar tissue, that is sticky and it is very loosely composed, and all the different types of cells like macrophages, mast cells and fibroblasts all are freely embedded in the matrix. The matrix is very sticky and it is very loose in areolar tissue, but if you see the matrix in dense connective tissue, it is somewhat semi-solid in nature. So the dense connective tissue is going to include tendons and ligaments. Yes, what it includes, children? Dense connective tissue includes tendons and ligaments. Yes. So tendons are cord-like structures. Tendons are going to contain string-like many number of inelastic bundles called as white collagen fibers. In the tendons we can see many number of fibers, those are called as white collagen fibers, and it is also going to contain some elongated fibroblasts, those are only white collagen fibers. Many number of elongated fibroblasts are going to be present, those fibroblasts are called as white collagen fibers. And if you see this point, the tendons are going to connect the skeletal muscles with the bone. Okay, clear? So tendons are nothing but these are a type of connective tissues which are involved in connecting the muscles with the bones. If you see the image here, you can clearly observe it. It is a muscle. Yes, it is a muscle which is going to be connected to the bone. Clear, children? Tendon is a type of dense connective tissue which is involved in connecting the muscles with the bones. Yes, next coming towards the ligaments. So ligaments are formed by numerous number of yellow elastic fibers. If you have seen the tendons, it is going to contain white collagen fibers, but in the ligaments we have the yellow elastic fibers, and this tissue is going to combine with the strength and it is going to give a greater flexibility when compared to the tendons. We are going to get the strength and flexibility from the tissue, that is ligament. It is a type of dense connective tissue. So it is going to contain numerous number of which type of fibroblasts, children? Yellow elastic fibers. Okay, yellow elastic fibers are more in ligaments and white collagen fibers are more in tendons. Yes, ligament is going to be involved in connecting the bone to bone. So the connection in between one bone to the another bone is ligament, and the connection of the muscle with the bone is tendon. Clear, children? Clear with the concept tendon and ligament? Tendon and ligaments are going to be categorized under the dense connective tissue. Clear with the concept dense connective tissue? Yes. Next coming towards the supportive connective tissue. Yes, loose connective tissue is completed. The loose connective tissue is coming to in the categorized under the connective tissue proper. So next coming towards the supportive connective tissue, here we are going to learn about the cartilage and bone. In the dense connective tissue we have completed about the ligament and tendon. In the supportive connective tissue we are going to learn about the cartilage and bone. Yes. See here, the cartilage is a skeletal tissue. It is a structure of the cartilage. So this cartilage is going to contain some semi-solid matrix. It is going to contain the matrix which is semi-solid in nature. Yes, this is all the matrix, and inside the matrix there is a fluid filled spaces. Okay, inside the matrix what we have, children? Inside the matrix we have a fluid filled spaces. Clear? Yes, that fluid filled spaces are called as lacunae. Okay, we have the fluid filled spaces in the cartilage, that is called as lacunae, and inside the lacunae the cells of cartilage which are called as chondroblast. Chondroblast. Okay, chondroblast are the cells which are present in the cartilage, and each chondroblast cell is embedded in the fluid filled spaces. Those are called as lacunae. Inside the lacunae we can find the chondroblast cells, and the chondroblast, the cartilage, is made up of numerous number of the white fibers. Yes, cartilage is made up of what, children? It is made up of white fibers, and the cartilage is protected by a membrane called as perichondrium. Cartilage is protected by the membrane called as the perichondrium. Yes, and inside the cartilage there is a semi-solid matrix, and inside the matrix there are some fluid filled spaces called as lacunae, and inside the lacunae we are going to find the cartilage cells. Those are called as chondroblast. So inside the lacunae the chondroblast may be embedded either 1, 2, 3 or 4. Okay, see here. The cartilage cell, the chondroblast may not only be one in a lacunae, it may be include 2 to 3 or 4. Yes, 2 to 4 number of cells are going to be embedded in the lacunae. Lacunae are what, children? These are the fluid filled spaces which is going to contain the chondroblast cells which are present in the cartilage. Yes, clear with the concept? Yes, next coming towards the location of the cartilage, we can see the location of the cartilage in different parts in our body, like we can find the cartilage in ear. Okay, that is a very soft skeletal tissue. It is actually going to give flexibility to you. Yes, next ear. Okay, you can bend these ears like this. Why you can bend these ears like this? Because it is a soft skeletal tissue which is called as cartilage. Okay, and next it is also going to be found at the tip of nose. Okay, you can also bend your nose in this way. Why you can do all these things, activities in this way? Because these all are going to be coming under the category called as skeletal tissues. These are all called as the skeletal tissues which are elastic in nature. Okay, and we can also find them in throat and rib cage. Okay, these all are the locations of the cartilage in our body: ear, nose, throat and rib cage. Yes, it performs the functions by providing support and flexibility to the vertebrate body. It will give the support to us, and next it is also going to give the flexibility. These are very flexible in nature. It means you can bend your ears like this, and next you can also turn, you can show the movement for your nose. You can do all these activities because it is a type of these are all the cartilage tissues which are going to give support and flexibility to our body, and it is going to contain many number of white fibers. Yes, next coming towards the in supportive connective tissue, next we are going to learn about bone. Yes, bone is a very rigid tissue. Bone is a rigid connective tissue, and the cells present in the bone are called as osteoblast. What, children? Cells of bone. What they are called? They are called as osteoblast. Okay, cells present in the bone are called as osteoblast, whereas cells present in the cartilage are called as chondroblast, whereas cells present in the areolar tissue are called as macrophages, mast cells and fibroblasts. You have to remember all these three types of cells present in the connective tissues. They are going to form question is in the section A, okay, which is going to include 1 mark. So remember all those concepts, children. Yes, osteoblasts are the types of cells which we can find in the bone. Okay, and this bone is going to be composed of some matrix. Okay, bone is also going to contain the matrix, but that matrix is going to occur in concentric circular lamellae. Clear, children? The matrix of the bone is going to be included, it is going to be arranged in some circular patterns. Okay, you can see all these circular patterns. Yes, these all concentric circles are called as lamellae. Okay, the matrix of the bone is called as lamellae, which is arranged in circular layers. And here also we can find the fluid filled spaces called as the lacunae. And inside these lacunae we are going to find the bone cells, those are called as osteoblasts. Yes, these are the osteoblasts which are present in the fluid filled spaces called as lacunae. And next we have the matrix in the bone, that is called as lamellae, which is arranged in the concentric circles. Clear with the concept? And next in between these we can find some canals, those are called as Haversian canals. Clear children? Yes. Here we can see the Haversian canals. Okay. So the Haversian canals is going to include three parts, lamellae and lacunae. Okay. The lamellae, lacunae along with the osteoblast together called as Haversian system. Are you getting my point, children? Yes. So this is the Haversian system. The Haversian system actually contains the Haversian canal, which is going to include the concentric lamellae along with the lacunae and osteoblast. All these together called as Haversian system, and here in these between middle portions we can find the Haversian canal. Haversian canal is actually surrounded by these lamellae, lacunae along with the bone cells called as osteoblast, and the entire matrix here is present in the form of the lamellae. Clear with the concept, children? And the bone is protected externally by a membrane called as periosteum. The bone is protected by a membrane called as periosteum. And internally it is covered by a membrane called as endosteum. Periosteum is externally protected membrane and endosteum is internally protected membrane, and the matrix of the bone is called as lamellae. This is going to be present in a circular forms like this, and the fluid filled spaces is called as the lacunae, which contains the bone cells, those are called as the osteoblast. Clear with the concept? Clear with the structure of this bone? Yes. Next, coming towards the composition of bone. Yes, if you see here the composition and functions of bone, the protein present in the bone is called as ossin. What, children? The protein present in the bone. Bone is made up of some protein. What is that protein? Ossin. Okay. Along with the protein, it is also going to be made up of some minerals like calcium phosphate, calcium carbonate, sodium chloride and magnesium phosphate. Okay, it is going to be made up of with many different types of minerals like calcium phosphate, calcium carbonate, and next sodium chloride and magnesium phosphate. These are all the minerals which are present in the bone along with the protein called as ossin. Okay, and all these are, okay, all of these are called as inorganic salts. These all inorganic salts are important for what? These are responsible for hardness of bone. The presence of all these inorganic salts, they will make the hardening of bone. The bone is very hard in nature. Why? Means due to the presence of all these salts like calcium phosphate, calcium carbonate, and next sodium magnesium phosphate. Okay, and next these all will create the hardness structure to the bone, and they will give the hardness to the bone. And next, bones are mainly involved in protecting the delicate organs. Okay, bones are actually mainly involved in what? They are going to protect all the internal organs. Okay, so see here, it is a brain. Okay, brain is protected inside the skull. Okay, we can also call it as brain is protected in a bony box. Okay, sometimes we say that brain is protected in a bony box, that is called as what, children? That brain is protected in bony box. What is that bony box called? Cranium. Clear? Cranium. Okay, yes, inside this cranium only the brain is going to be protected, and inside the rib cage the lungs are going to be protected. Inside this rib cage, what is protected, children? Lungs. Clear? And next, see here, these are the adipocytes which will store the fat. Yes, and this is the type of tissue called as the ligament. Okay, which will connect bone to bone. Yes, clear with this concept bone? Okay, the matrix of bone is called as what? It is called as lamellae, and the cells of the bone are called as osteoblast, and osteoblast along with these lamellae and lacunae together called as the Haversian system. Clear with this concept? Yes. Okay, now we are going to see the differences between the bone and cartilage. Yes, first coming towards this cartilage and next bone. Okay, so cartilage is a soft, elastic and flexible in nature, and bone is hard, tough and inflexible. Okay, as I have said you in the previous session regarding these only itself, that cartilage is made up of it is also called as a soft skeletal tissue which you can bend, and it is very flexible in nature, whereas coming towards the bone, it is a hard and tough and it is inflexible in nature, you cannot bend them. Okay, and next, matrix of cartilage occurs in homogeneous mass. Matrix is present entirely and not in the concentric circular forms, but when we have seen the matrix present in the bone, that is going to occur in the concentric circular forms, that is called as lamellae. Okay, and cartilage do not have the rich blood supply. Okay, we cannot find the rich blood supply in cartilage, and the blood supply is more in the bones. Okay, the growth of cartilage is unidirectional, it can grow only in one direction, but when you see the growth of bone, it is bidirectional, because the bone can grow in bidirectional by increasing its length, by increasing its weight and by increasing its width. If you see this bone structure like this, it is bidirectional growth. Okay, it shows the bidirectional growth, it can grow in this way and it can increase its width. Okay, it can increase its width also in this form. Clear with the concept, children? Clear with the concept, this cartilage and bone? Yes. Next, we are going to solve the most important 1 mark questions. Look here, children. See, what are chondroblasts? What are chondroblasts? These are which type of cells? Yes, chondroblasts are the cells which we are going to find in the cartilage. Okay, chondroblasts are the cells present in the cartilage. Clear? Cartilage. Okay, and next one, what are the functions of areolar tissue? What are the functions of areolar tissue, children? Areolar tissue is going to fill the space in the internal organs, and next it is also involved in binding the tissues of one type of tissues with the other types of tissues. Okay, these two are the functions of areolar tissue. Yes, what are the 3 types of cells found in the areolar tissue? Okay, this is very important, children. It is very important 1 mark answer. Okay, what are the 3 types of cells? Mast cells, macrophages and fibroblasts. These 3 are the most important cells which we are going to find in the areolar tissue. Name the proteins found in the white fibers and yellow fibers. White fibers are made up of which type of protein? They are made up of protein called as collagen. Clear? Yes. White fibers are made up of a protein called as collagen, and yellow fibers are made up of a protein called as elastin. Clear, children? Clear with the concept? Clear with the loose connective tissue and dense connective tissue? Yes, this is all about the today's particular session. In the next session, we are going to learn about the fluid connective tissue, and it is a last type of tissue in the connective tissues. Okay, clear with the concept? Stay tuned for the next session. Please do like, share and subscribe to NEET World. Thank you.